following video will show you how to print screen print film positives using MultiRIP hybrid printing software. The first thing you want to do is you want to open up your artwork in whatever graphic software program you're using. This is a graphic from Great Dane Graphics. You will need your graphic already separated. In the current case, we have the graphic separated into a CMYK format. We will then turn around and we will go up to the top left corner, click on File, and then go down to Print with Preview. You will need to select Print with Preview in order to set up your separations. The first thing that will come out is the Print Preview screen. We'll want to go ahead and use the drop-down box. You have your option between Output and Color Management. We'll select Color Management and then click on Screen. This will bring up our halftone screen. Most of the time it'll start off with Use Printer Default screen. If you uncheck that box, you'll then have access to all of your films, at which point in time you can set your frequency, your angle, and your shape of your halftones. Once you have all of these set up, which are different for each shop, you'll go ahead and hit OK. It'll now have them set in there. You will be able to view your graphic in this window, and as you'll notice, the graphic is actually too large for the printable area. So the next thing that we'll do is we'll go to the Print button. On the Print button, we'll click that, and it'll bring up a warning saying if you'd like to proceed. Go ahead and click Yes. The next screen that will open up will give us a chance to choose what printer we want to print to. In this case, we're going to use the MultiRIP Stylish Pro 4800. You'll need to choose one of the MultiRIP Stylish Pro printers instead of an Easy Dicer or Easy Transfer, because you will not have the ability to select the film positives from those. So we'll choose the MultiRIP Stylish Pro 4800 and then click on Properties. In the Properties menu, we will have two tabs up at the top, Paper Quality and Layout. Underneath the paper source, you'll want to choose Roll Paper, Auto Cut, and Black and White, since we're printing film positives. Then you will choose the Layout. The Layout, you want to go ahead and leave Portrait at all times. In the bottom right corner of both of these tabs, you'll see where it'll say Advanced. Click on the Advance button, and now it's brought you into the RIP. In this case, the first thing we want to look at is your paper size. The paper size is actually the size of the film that you're loading into your printer. You obviously have a lot of pre-selected choices here, but a lot of times when you print film, you're actually printing on a roll of film. If you're printing on a roll of film, you'll want to choose PostScript Custom Page Size. When you select that, a new window will open up. You will want to go ahead and type in your width and your height of your film. Since we're using the Epson Stylish Pro 4800, a lot of times people print on 17-inch wide film. So you'll type in the number 17. For the height, you'll type in the appropriate number depending on the size of your film. In this case, we'll use 14. One other thing you need to have selected is the paper feed direction. In this drop-down box, you have two choices you'll really want to focus on. Either long edge first or short edge first. How you tell which one you want to use is based off of the numbers up in the top area. If your width is larger than the height number, you will want to use long edge first, like in this case. If your width was smaller than your height, you'd want to use short edge first. So the trick to remembering this is, if the width is larger, go long edge. If the width is smaller, go short edge. Click on that long edge and go ahead and hit OK. The next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to scroll down until we see some of the other options a little bit lower in the RIP choices. We'll want to change the color mode. Instead of using full CMYK, we'll want to use grayscale. After you have that selected, the next thing you'll want to look at is ink type. Since we're printing film positives, we do not want to use dye sublimation ink, but yet we'd want to use multi-ink. Now, an important thing will show up. You'll notice that there are two yellow warning triangles that show up. These yellow triangles state that there is settings that do not match each other. When we click on the media type, you'll notice all of the ones that have a yellow triangle are our dye sublimation profiles. For film positives, you have your choice between film positive 1 through film positive 8. All of these film positives and the exact manufacturer of them are listed in the MultiRIP user form, located at www.multiripusers.com. There are density curves that are specific to each one of these film positives, so I recommend you look at the user form and then select the appropriate one for the film that you're using. In this case, we'll use positive film number 2. You do have the ability to choose Generate Pure Blacks if you would like, although it is not necessary when using multi-ink. Generate Pure Blacks just means that you're only pulling from the black channel, whereas typically what you'll end up doing is you'll end up using a little bit of cyan, a little bit of magenta, and yellow ink with conjunction with the black ink. So you can have that set to know if you'd like. The final selections that we'll want to look at are the screening, and underneath screening, when you choose that, you'll have your choice between several selections. Most of these standard and special selections that you'll see on here are really made for offset printing. Earlier, when we set up our halftones in Photoshop, we put in exactly what we want our lines, frequencies, and angles. So what we need to choose at this point in time is our document-defined halftone. Once you have that select, you'll have one final option. The final option comes down to the amount of ink that you'll want to drop onto the page. If you scroll up to the top, you'll see where it says print quality. Underneath print quality, you'll see all of the available resolutions that you can print at. The majority of the time, most people have found very successful in just using the enhanced print quality. You can choose to increase to fine film, or max resolution film. Once you have that, you can go ahead, hit OK, OK, and OK, and now your file will be sent to the RIP. Now that your file has been sent to the RIP window will automatically open up. Up at the top, you'll notice where it'll say idle. As soon as your file is picked up from the hot folders, it'll say processing and incoming, and begin to start in the process of ripping your file and sending it to the Windows PostScript driver. It's important to notice that you have 4 tabs down here. The status tab, which gives you status information about your file. The incoming jobs tab, the process jobs tab, and the pages to printer tab. Once your file has been ripped, it will be sent to the printer and the different films will be printed for you.